Hey guys, in this game I play Talon into Veigar mid in the Diamond 4 to Diamond 2 Ela range. I will go through the game and my playstyle, more specifically why I made certain decisions which can maybe impact your solo queue games as well. Enjoy the video. Number 1, Runes. Before we continue further into the game, let's take a look at what runes I'm using. For this game, I ran Domination, Electrocute, Sudden Impact, Ghost Spore, and Relentless Hunter, with secondary Sorcery, Absolute Focus, and Scorch, with double offense and scaling HP. Dark Harvest used to be a viable choice, a couple of patches earlier when it wasn't so dependent on getting so many kills. It's something I would take in a lower elo game like Gold or Silver, where getting kills is a lot easier. Electrocute is the most optimal domination rune on Talon in the sorcery tree. Phase Rush is also very good on him as well for a different playstyle, but I will go into that in another video. Absolute Focus and Scorch were taken for early game damage and pressure. Talon is an early mid-game champ, so I don't see any point in taking Gathering Storm. However, I could see a reason to take Water Walking. In fact, in this game, Water Walking would have been very, very good, but I opted for Scorch out of habit. On average, Scorch tends to be very useful. It does almost as much damage as Sudden Impact in the game. The 3 domination branches I picked could be changed, but I'd recommend taking Sudden Impact into every game. However, with the way I build Talon, which I will get into later in the video, I don't buy Black Cleaver or Triforce. So if I wanted to optimize a page for 40% CDR, then I would go Transcendence, and then build Lucidity Boots in game after Mobies. Also, something to keep in mind is that if you're going into a lane where you will take a lot of pokes, such as a Ziggs matchup, then taking a flat +6 MR rune is advisable. 2. We play the matchup. So something to keep in mind with Veigar is that he's a late game mage who has only one ability to kite with, which has an 18-second cooldown at level 1. All of Talon's abilities have lower cooldowns than his only kiting ability. Talon's Gap Closer, his Q, has an 8-second cooldown at level 1, so you can range Q him to draw out the Veigar E the first time, and then throw your W while you're in the cage for some extra poke. You won't proc passive, but you will proc Scorch. But as of this moment, you have lane priority, because he can't stop you from killing him, and he doesn't have enough damage to help his jungler fight you and your jungler. This is also the time worth mentioning that Veigar has abysmal wave clear early game. He can't one-shot any minion with his W or Q, so as Talon you can shove him in easy and look for roams knowing he can't push the lane fast enough to punish you. In this game, I went Corrupting Pot for some reason. This was because of my game plan. Usually going longsword and taking 2 points in your W, and your Ghost Spore getting put into the enemy jungle gives you enough damage to kill the backline in 2 Ws. But I had a slightly different plan. My plan in this game was to get Veigar to use his abilities on me while I shoved the wave. Obviously, if he couldn't kill the wave fast enough, he would just start attacking me with his abilities, which is exactly what he started doing this game. So the idea was my Corrupting Pot would help mitigate the damage so that after every wave I wasn't like on 10 HP, so that I could actually get a roam off, get my Ghost Pourer down, get some wards in their jungle, and check out where Kha'Zix is to let my team know. So at the start of this game, we saw that Kha'Zix started red buff as Riven entered First Blood. One thing to note that Kha'Zix starting red buff isn't really his best route because he either has to go to Golems or Raptors. Those are the closest ones. I mean, he doesn't have to, but it's more efficient if he did, even though that's like the worst side for him, right? He would rather be on bot side with Wolves and Gromp, because it's easy to kill the 2 little Wolves and then have his isolation damage on the big Wolf, and Gromp only gets isolation damage, and obviously Blue Buff only gets isolation damage. So bot is a lot better for him. But he decided to start top lane, so that means he could have just gone red to Wolves and then Scuttle, or red to Blue then Scuttle. But that would be a really weird path, because that would mean he really wants bot Scuttle. And that's not really a good idea since we have Lucian Alistar, right? Lucian Alistar is a very aggressive lane, especially at level 3, they have dominance. So him pathing from top to bot is really bad idea. What he should be doing is trying to get a gank off on me before level 3. Because at level 3, I get my only escape ability. Which is kind of crap versus Veigar's cage, because I can't jump over it without getting stunned. So what he should have done was started blue, then got Grump, and then got Scuttle, and then came mid. Or he could have just skipped Scuttle, got me, and then went top. Because he knew that Gragas was on the other side, pathing towards him. Because Gragas does Raptors very well. So, something important I did here. I decided that this Veigar isn't the greatest player, but then I realized he was just playing crap so he could bait me, and I had to blow Flash to get away from him. And I decided to mute these two players in my team, the bot lane, because they were flaming each other, and it was kind of tilting me as well. Because when people get mad at each other, I just kind of, I just can't be bothered playing anymore. So I just mute players who are being dumb or want to give up or whatever. Because you have to have the mentality that you can carry the game, especially on a champ like Talon, who actually can carry the game up to like maybe 25 minutes. You're gonna be able to carry. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get vision of where Kha'Zix might be, and if he's not down here, I can just get easy roam, which I do, and I kill the Vayne, which is a nice shutdown for me, 600 gold. And so, as I said before, Veigar can't really punish me that well. He can get some damage off. He doesn't even get this play. Look, he used this cage, which is very dumb, because now I have lane priority, right? He should only use it if I Q onto him, like I mentioned before. So now we know that Ka's top, and Ka really can't do much against the top 3 we have, because if our top 3 versus their top 3, we win. Easily win. And so we're trying to snuff them out of vision. That's why we contest all these scuttles. And we know that Ka's going to be a blue soon, because his blue's coming up, unless he doesn't know how to path towards his blue. So, yeah, this guy was a bit questionable this game. I'm not really sure where the alley's roaming, because I'm almost sure they win that lane. But, it's whatever. They didn't like each other, so I kind of understand it. So I bought my Tiamat. That means I can shove waves a lot faster. I go for the kill on Veigar, because he was just being a dumbass. He didn't have anything up. He wasted his E because he saw me coming or something. And so I just got an easy kill on him. I wanted to dive them, but I didn't have ult, and they were on the tower. Kha'Zix gets blue, and we just saw bot back, so why would we not contest this, right? I just killed Veigar. He's not going to do anything, because he's not going to get any in time. So we get their blue and just jump out. So Veigar's back mid. And I let Gragas know that there's no summoners mid, but I think Alistar won more. What you just saw me do there was I team-added the wave before Wing it. This is something a Chinese streamer in Korea does. And I actually heard about it from a Talon main called Yamikaze, who says it's better because your W is really good as a poke ability. So that if you use it first, they have like such a big time window to poke you, and you can't do anything about it. So it's always good to team out before you W. But just be careful with any oncoming poke. Like Veigar could have QW'd me, but he kind of missed his W, so it's whatever. At this point in the game, I'm trying to look to close that lane, because I don't really see, I have to keep flash E-ing away from shit that comes to me. So we killed Kha'Zix here, because he tries to counter jungle, but his supports, I believe, top side, and we already had vision of whoever could help him, which was Vayne. Vayne was already bot. Thresh was bot side. Sorry, did I say top side? I meant bot side. And yeah, so we kind of knew where they all were, so we were fine. I decided to go bot here, I believe, because it's getting to that point in the game where they need me to split push. I didn't mean like now, but I go bot in a second because they lose tower, and Lucian needs to farm, and he needs some protection from the tower. And if you're mid, right, and you let your bot split, or not split, but go mid, right, they can soak up more XP and get better CS because the tower's closer to them, so they're safer. The solution was being a bit weird. I just let him take the CS because he was really behind and I was kind of ahead. So it's whatever. My CS wasn't that great this game. I should have like 30 more, but it's whatever. So I look for the kill on Kha'Zix here. Don't really get it because he's being a pussy. And Tryndamere walks down. It's whatever. I go back mid. Don't know. Oh yeah, I think we kill this guy. He tries really hard to get away for some reason. No use. We kill him. He wastes his flash. I don't know if this Veigar was autofilled. He was very bad. These guys are getting pretty tilted. They're trying to surrender and stuff. One thing to do is when your team's trying to surrender is you need to move that shit out of the screen. I didn't. I don't know why, but I hate looking at surrender mode. It tilts me. I mean, unless I put it, then I'm already tilted. But I usually don't surrender in rank. I just try to play it out. So I just killed the Vayne here. I don't know why she ulted. She didn't E, which was weird. She should just eat straight away. I think she thought she could outplay me, but she didn't see I was 4-1 before I killed her. I didn't even need to use Ignite, which is a good thing. So here's Kha'Zix. I think I die here. No, I don't, because you just spam me on Talon and you're fine. It's kind of how that works, guys. So I'm just kind of waiting here, because I thought my team was going to come contest that scuttle, but no one really came. I guess I came kind of late, but it's whatever. So looking at our comp now, we definitely don't scale as well as they do. We got Talon and Lucian, which don't scale at all. I mean, Talon, he can kill the ADC. That's pretty much it. But he doesn't scale. You know, he doesn't have good scaling because one of his abilities only lets him jump over walls. It doesn't do anything else. So I could have killed this guy here. I don't know why I didn't just go for the kill. I went to flash Q him, but I ended up not doing it. I wasted Ignite for that, which wasn't good. I think I die here because he flashed over, which is really bad. This was really bad for us. We just gave the Kha'Zix 1,550, I think. Yeah. And that's really shit. Like, that car has so much gold now. But he's kind of bad, so it's whatever. I don't really care if he gets the gold. I mean, obviously I do care, but if it's a bad play game, then it's not that big of a deal. I don't really know what we're doing here. We shouldn't all be top. It's a little bad. We tried to catch out the Veigar and Thresh. That didn't really work out. I'm trying to waste all their resources, so I'm using all their plants and such. One thing to keep in mind is that Talon is insanely mobile. Like, I know it's just something obvious that, everyone's like, we know. But a lot of people underestimate his mobility. He can jump over every wall in the game. Like, I mean, I know there's some glitches with him jumping walls and stuff, but he's really good split pusher because he doesn't need TP to get into fights quickly. He can get there with Mobies and Relentless Hunter. Some players decide to take Ravenous Hunter because of the sustain. Ravenous Hunter and Triumph are really good into like comps with a lot of dot damage, such as like Singe, Teemo, Cass, anything like that. I believe I get the Vayne here. Yeah, the Thresh played really poorly. He should have hooked me and flayed me away. Tried to keep distance. Vayne's positioning was terrible as well. We ended up killing Thresh. I think I die, which is not worth. I think Alistar dies. So we tried 2 for 2, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was that worth. This game, another thing to keep in mind is that luckily our top 3 did really well. So me, Gragas, and Riven won our respective matchups pretty hard, but bot didn't really do that well. I mean, I don't blame them. Maybe they had a bad game. Maybe they were auto-filled. Whatever, it happens. But I don't know. Lucian Alistar, I kind of just surprised that lost because it's an insanely strong lane. Oh, there we go. One thing you have to make sure you do on Talon is you upgrade your trinket to the right trinket. Or blue sometimes if they have like a pick comp. In this case, they only had really a Thresh. I wasn't too scared of Veigar because I could just, flash if I saw it casting. So we're getting Dragon while they're getting Baron. This is really weird. I was like, I swear they're doing Baron, aren't they? And then, yeah, well, maybe I could have got like a triple there or something if I flash W or W flash altered and then Q'd the Vayne or something. But we traded Dragon for Baron, so it's kind of sad. 2 of them have already lost Baron. The Kha'Zix are high key entered there. I don't know why I jumped over twice. I think it's because I knew they were gonna die. So yeah, that's kind of sad. The build I'm doing, I don't get 40% CD, I only get 20. If you want 40 with my build, you go Transcendence and Lucidity boots somewhere after you've bought your mobility boots. Like, you sell Mobies for Lucidity boots. Preferably when your Relentless Hunter's fully stacked, so you have some movement speed with your Yomus going, so you don't really need the mobility from your boots. And the reason I do my build without Black Cleaver is because I saw a math crunch. Basically, a Talon main uploaded Y on Talon's more efficient to get a Dominic's over Black Cleaver, and it has to do with gold and how much damage you get and how you don't need the speed up for from Black Cleaver. Some argue that you need health and whatnot, but people said that Edge of Night should be enough, and Talon shouldn't really rely that much on health. Obviously, in some games, it's definitely more viable to go Black Cleaver, which was pointed out. I would link the Math Crunch, but I don't actually have it. I don't know who to give credit to for it, because there was a lot of Redditors on it, so I'm sorry for that. One thing to keep in mind, though, is Talon definitely doesn't need the speed up. I already mentioned, but he really doesn't need it. He's already quick enough without it. And he has things like Yomu's and his Relentless Hunter to get him ahead. The only time you would really go Black Cleaver, in my opinion, is if you have like maybe all AD and you're the only like maybe the only person who can buy Black Cleaver and put out AoE damage. Let's ignore my int there. I got a GA. That's the only important thing. Triforce you only go if you're split pushing a lot, which I believe is, it's pretty popular with Talon, but if you're like me and you like, getting into fights and grouping and stuff more than splitting, which is probably a bad habit to pick up, but whatever, it works out. This game's kind of a fiesta, that's just how it is in the sealer. The Baron's coming up and we see Carl walk towards it. My idea was to just try to assassinate Carl. I got there as fast as possible. I screwed up my combo, which sucks, but I got him off the Baron, so we just got a free Baron here, which is really good for us. I was kind of sad this game because I was like, dude, if we let this go on too long, then we're screwed. Like, we get outscaled insanely hard. Maybe Gragas and Riven are good late game, but Lucian and Talon damage late game is yikes. It's not good. Only for like maybe squishies, but that's pretty much it. But they didn't have any tanks, so that kind of makes it better. Easier for us to win. Except for maybe Thresh. Thresh makes it a little difficult because he's so tanky and he can peel for the Vayne. But this Vayne wasn't very good, so it was fine. I was looking for an assassination there, but I didn't want to in again. Oh, I could die here, I'm pretty sure. It's pretty shit. Oh, no, I don't die here. I smurf on him. I completely juke him. So I'd really like to thank you all for watching this video, and I hope that you really learnt something from it, and just know that there is more to come, and I'll be going over different runes maybe you can take. And the whole point of me making these Talon videos is that there's a lot of high-ranking Talons who make videos based on mechanics and what you should do to climb and such, but people kind of don't know how to incorporate that in like gold, silver, and that's where our majority is, and I'm trying to really influence that audience to learn more. So I hope this really did help, and feedback would be appreciated.